One. Okay. Hello, everybody. We're live again. We just went live and came off. There was a blip in the broadcast. Anyway, here we are, Loose Mystics. Thank you for joining us, those that are coming in to watch. I'm Kate May. We have Mystic Mandy, who's been fabulously creating some crystal artwork, which I don't know if we can show, but we can definitely show on the page later on. We have Mystic Gem, who has been working hard doing her admin work and taking over the world. And we have who again has been creating some amazing artwork and is ready for her salon to be opening soon, getting into that. So what we're going to talk about this week, guys, is basically anything that we fancy, really. If there's any subjects that you want to, if there's any questions that anyone wants to ask us, please do, and we'll bring you up on the screen to ask the questions, to answer. Or if you just want to join in the chit-chat that we're having, and then crack on. I think one of the things that we wanted to talk about is last time we spent quite a lot of time talking about lockdown, so we kind of wanted to move a little bit away from that, but talking about what have we learned in lockdown, what things have we done, any studying, have we done any, had any big spiritual awakening around us, have we had anything that's been, and have we had Suzette joined us. Yay. The gang is all together. So what Suzette, can you hear backstage, Suzette, of what we were saying?
Oh, Kate, your voice carries far and wide.
I'm not offended at all. I'm just going to do a quick share out for those that are watching. I'm just going to share the post. And so if you guys want to crack on, just give me two, 3 seconds to share this. But yeah, so what have you been doing during lockdown? Suzette, you've passed your counselling. Mandy, you've qualified in something.
Teaching English is a foreign language.
You need to teach me proper English.
I'm not that good, not yet.
What about any of our viewers? Has anyone been studying anything, learning anything? How have you best used this time? About the rest of you, how have you been using your time?
You know, it's like one of the most useful things I think I've found is that before the lockdown, I always used to beat myself up because there was always jobs that I needed to do. You know, like this needed tidying up, that needed sorting out. And if I sat down watching the TV, I'd always feel like guilty. But in the lockdown, I've done it all. And then those bits have just been replaced with new jobs. So I kind of from now on, I'm not going to beat myself up. If I don't get everything done, I don't get everything done.
You know what? I'm a counsellor. I need some therapy.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good idea.
It is, isn't it? It's all those habits that we get into, and those bits where we feel guilty about spending time for ourselves. And it's just years and years of conditioning being brought up. You know,
it must be because just new jobs came along. So you know, like I did one job and then something else. So I just thought, well, I'm not one of those little hamsters in the wheel, go round and round and round. So
I think it's for me, it's a lot of it finding your self-worth in making just yourself happy. You know, like especially my job, it's about people telling me, you know, I've made them feel better and how amazing and actually it's felt really difficult not having that praise and not having that daily thing with people. So actually though, what it has made me do is like go within and make sure that I'm making myself feel better about me and who I am, and giving myself that time to do it. But I think there's been struggling times and it's okay to not smile. I find that hard.
Absolutely.
I find it really hard to not go on the TV or Facebook or whatever, I think it's TV, with a smile on my face, and I find that challenging, like saying I'm sad, I'm scared, and not being optimistic. It's like okay to be optimistic, but still feel sad. Does that make sense?
Absolutely, yeah, definitely.
Kind of okay to be yourself. I imagine, you know, offline, obviously, that a lot of us in the group here have kind of found things within us that we wanted to do and tried it, and almost given ourselves permission to carry on because it's felt right and we haven't had maybe those external judgments going on. And there's just been that support within us saying, you know, that's really good, carry it on, and being able to hold that feeling and think, you know what, yeah, I am, I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
Quiet, Suzette. Yours is in and out. I can't think you everything there. Oh, she's gone. Oh, gone. I said. She disappeared.
Do you know what though? Don't you ever think sometimes you can just think too much about something?
Yeah.
Overthink it and overanalyze it and go in the ins and outs of a cat's backside sort of thing. And sometimes you just got to follow your gut and just do what feels right.
I'm definitely that person I'm definitely that person where too much time on my hands is why I fill my life with work normally. Yeah. So all your normal coping mechanisms for me are gone. So I think that's why it's why you fill it all work and busyness, because my brain don't give me a break. I can't go on holiday from it or anything. So I think it's hard.
I found that at the beginning when it was all weird and you kind of just settling into it, you have all these jobs to do, so you kind of want to do them. And at the beginning, I was like, right, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do this. And instead, like we were saying earlier, I've created new things I didn't even think about, but I haven't quite finished the old things yet. And then I found the old things. But actually, then when I've had a word with myself and been like, it's okay, I've then decided, right, actually, I'm going to have a week off, just mincing around, not doing any work and just enjoying doing nothing. And that really kind of regrouped my head a little bit to get me more focused again. And
maybe that's the message. Maybe that's the message. The message is that it is all right to do nothing.
I think I had a long time ago. I had this guy say to me, he was like a business coach, and he said it's good to take one day where you just don't do anything, but you just scroll the Facebook. You just do this, do that, mince about, because otherwise, when you're trying to do stuff, you get distracted. But if you allow yourself the day to do it or the evening to do it, then you don't feel like you need to do it. I guess it's a bit like, I mean, we're all probably going to go on diets when we come off this. It's
what are you saying?
Day to eat. Giving yourself a day off to eat what you want to eat, so that the rest of the week you're all right, and then you just know that actually I can have. It's the weekend. I can have a little bit of a veg out. I think it's getting a balance, isn't it? It's getting a balance.
Absolutely, it's a balance, because I found that having the time off to enjoy the sunshine, I thought I was going to feel really guilty, and then today when the weather's been a bit more gloomy and yesterday, and I've still got stuff down, and I've realised, well, hang on, the world didn't end because I enjoyed 3 days in the sun. My business didn't go bankrupt because I enjoyed 3 days in the sun. I feel so much better for it. And now I can crack on with my work because I don't want to be outside at the moment because it's a bit gloomy. So I definitely think it's balance.
Yeah, definitely. I purposely took this week off. I looked at the weather, knew it was going to be sunny at the beginning, so I thought I'm not going to book in any readings. I'm just going to have the week off to read my magazines, to sit in the garden. And it was lovely, and I didn't feel any guilt at all. And then now, like, it's changed, so I'm able to get on top of things, and it feels absolutely fine. So fingers crossed, can continue doing that. But as I put this thing up, have we found any new hobbies? So I don't know if we got to that bit at the beginning of it. What hobbies or what things have you been doing, like learning in lockdown? What about any of our viewers? Have any of your viewers found something? I mean, I've joined a lot of garden sites, and there's been so many people that have been upcycling things, learning new tricks around. How, loads of people have made their own water features there. And what sort of things have you been doing?
You know what I've been doing? Because every morning, me and Mum go for an early morning walk, wherever, really nice. Well, as geeky as it sounds, and you're probably going to laugh, I've been learning all about the nature, what birds, what trees.
Oh, that's nice.
I absolutely love it. And when Mum first got better and we started building her energy back up and going for walks, we obviously saw all of the swans and the coots on their nests. And now we're seeing all the babies coming out. So it's like we've been on that journey with them. And it's so lovely. I've really been enjoying it. And I've said to her that even when things start to go back to normal, it'd be nice if we can continue this, because it's helped me. I've really enjoyed it. So that's my new hobby. Is I feel like I'm.
You think you will keep it up though, Jem?
I would like to. Yeah, I'd really like things to change when we go back.
I wonder
Not
how long
Yeah,
we
it's
will
not
keep
able
your-
to. I
No, I
mean,
mean, how long we will keep these new things up for?
Yeah, it's. I don't. I really want to keep this balance that I've got because it's the happiest I've been.
It will be a challenge, though, won't it?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. It'd be really
When-
hard to not slip back into them ways. And but I would really like it. I've said to her, just drag me out of bed if I don't feel like coming, because I really want to go for the morning walks, and it will help me get back on that diet.
You know, when you're doing the books and you see all like different plants, when we went to Costa Rica, there was loads of plants there that we didn't know, and the guides used to use their phone and use Google Camera and just take a picture, and then it just tells you, it recognises the plant by the leaf and just tells you all about the plant or the tree or the bird. So you haven't got to keep
Do that. That's amazing.
Yeah, so Google Camera is amazing.
Yeah. I'm going to do that.
Said, she's discovered gardening. I've removed 18 years of weeds and planted veg. I think
Right.
loads of people have really enjoyed, if they've got gardens this year, really embraced it. And they had Chelsea Flower Show was on, so that was on the telly. I'm totally going to go there next year. But yeah, lots of people. So Jackie said she's done her garden. Ellen says gardening, taking pictures of the birds. So I think the whole pace has slowed down for everyone to notice the little things.
Yeah.
Ellen also says she's done an equity and diversity course, health and nutrition. Wow, Ellen.
Wow.
I started learning Italian as well.
Oh, you did?
Did you?
How,
Yeah.
Bella?
Come on then.
Ciao Bella.
Give us a buongiorno.
Bellissimo.
Buon bellissimo bambino.
Because Jem is half Italian, aren't you, Jem?
I've got Italian blood in me, yeah. So my grandma was Italian.
Can you
Oh, you
speak
do?
Italian?
Couple of Saturday nights, I've got Italian blood in me.
Prego. That's it, that's all I know. No, was it non something uomo is a man, isn't it? And there's a few random words, but yeah, I've started doing that. So that was quite good.
I've signed up to do spiritual life coaching. I found the Centre of Excellence spiritual life coaching course. So I've signed up for that. And obviously my feng shui, which I'm loving, totally loving.
Yeah.
I've really read loads on that. The course is like $6,000 though to do. So at the minute, I haven't been able to actually do the course.
I wanted to do feng shui. I looked into doing
Yeah.
feng shui, and that looked really interesting. But it was £2,500.
Yeah.
course.
God, is that in
And
Japan?
that's really
That's not money.
It was brilliant.
Right.
Am I going to be? It's like if I knew I was having another few months, I might invest. But I'm like, I might be back in a month and not have no time to
Yeah.
finish it and do all the
Yeah.
work. Sort of
To do, I will.
halves a lot.
I would like to do the proper feng shui course. So that's my aim. That's my goal, is to get the $6,000 together to do it. Because I would like to do it. But I managed to get the at the Centre of Excellence this spiritual life coaching, because it's just going to give another dynamic to the readings. I thought, whereas normal readings, you say what's going on, you tell them the future and help them through sticky situations, but actually you're not allowed to counsel them, and you're not allowed to tell them what to do. You're not meant to. So being qualified to kind of makes me feel that I'll be able to help them support their life a bit more. So you're kind of telling them, well, this is what's going on in the cards, this is the challenges, and then I'll be able to give them the tools to do the next step, to be able to rebuild their life, rebuild their structure. And if they've got a goal, we kind of put things in place to help towards that. So yeah, I'm really excited about that.
I signed up for 2 other things, but I haven't done them. I've got the spiritual geometry, which I haven't started. And I've still got that pack from doing the lunar readings, using the moon, the chart of the real full moon and all the rest of it. And they were on my list of things to do, and they've just kind of, you know.
Colin! Hey, Colin!
Oh,
Oi, oi!
How you doing? How you doing, all right?
Yeah, good. How are you?
We are live, by the way.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
see you
You see the camera, and he's like straight there.
He just thought we were on a girly chat night, didn't he?
Yeah, I think he heard a bit about Italian blood. Pauline White painted the kitchen, revamped balcony, planted lights, cut up butterflies on the walls, and painted the bench pink and sparkle. Fabulous.
Oh,
Nice.
wow.
Pink and sparkle there. Yeah, love a bit of pink and sparkle there. So yeah, there's been lots of positives of it, and I think now the energy's changing a bit more. I mean, we've got a full moon tomorrow in Sagittarius, and it's definitely fiery, definitely making everything a little bit jarred. There's lots of planets that are conjunct, but it's bringing
tonight.
them.
Boy, lockdown's good. Keep away from everyone.
Wow, you think, but then you look at everything that's going on in the world at the minute, and it's just gone a bit crazy. And lots of people blame the full moon, but it's to do with leadership, isn't it? To do with teachings. And I think actually what we need to do is probably start going within and not listen to any other leader, but just listen to what feels right for ourselves. And I think that's what's going to come up from this full moon is about our own teachings and what feels right on our lead and our own path, really, rather than listening to everybody else there.
It's a lunar eclipse as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Don't 7 planets all go conjunct tomorrow as well? That's the 5th. What day is it tomorrow?
5th.
Yeah.
There's not just, there's about they're all going to be conjunct. There's going to be a lot of energy going. I'm not that good to know. I only know little bits and pieces, but I think there's a lot going on. The 5th is like a big change, like a big energy going on.
Yeah.
Venus is retrograde too, and they're all in that same little, I think.
That was one of the things, though. Sorry, I was going to say that was one of the things. Not so much what people did during lockdown, but it was just the fact of people making changes, like especially when you're not necessarily young. I mean, like I'm 50. Am I 55? Or am I 56? I'm 55. I forget how old I am. I decided to change a career and go to university like now. And I sat in a job for 7 years that was absolutely awful, and I hated it, and I was unwell and I was ill because I ignored all of the signs that I wasn't doing the right thing. And I mean, and like Suzette's like just got her new training and stuff like that. So do you think age is a barrier?
What are you saying? Suzette's old? Is that?
Well, we're not spring chickens, but what I mean is some people think to get to their 30s, 40s, and they think it's too late to do change path or
the same age as you, man. So I'm the same age as you. And I've got my foundation degree, and I'm just looking to do another year and go on and get my BA honours. And I think, does age need to be? Age would be a barrier if you want it to be.
I think a lot of people are put off, aren't they? Like making the change, even though they're not necessarily happy doing what they're doing. I mean, like you, Jem, you changed career as well, didn't you? You did a complete U-turn.
Don't put her in the same age bracket though. She's a good 20 years younger.
No, not age bracket. But even if you've invested time and you've trained on something and you've invested time and you're doing it, it's really hard to turn your back and then change and go in a.
It is. I mean, I went to university and got a degree in tourism management and business management, and I'm doing a little bit of the business management now, but worked in the tourism industry for 5 years. That's all I did. 10 years in admin, and now I'm completely different. I'm a holistic therapist, so completely different change.
Was there an amount at that time that you were like unhappy doing that job and knew you had to change?
Yeah.
Along with 7 years, I ignored it, and I became so ill in the end and suffered depression. God knows what, because I ignored what was not the signs. I don't know if there must have been signs there. I just didn't see them. Do you know what I mean? From the universe that I shouldn't be doing that. I should be doing something else. And then once you take the leap of faith and you do it, if it's the right thing, everything all falls into place.
Absolutely. Yeah. And if I didn't do it, I wouldn't have met you lot.
Exactly.
Embracing the age difference that you're going to have. Like, I'm well aware with my career, as much as I love it, there is a time limit. People don't want you doing their hair at 70. They don't. Your client will definitely.
They're judging you.
They won't want it because even the older women don't want the old ladies doing their hair. They want to look young. So you have an age limit on you. But actually, I'm hoping that I've enjoyed that, but taking all that knowledge in, so when I get into my 60s or whatever, you know, I want to change, I want to be with people. So embrace that change, because it's coming. Even though I love my career, I know I'm going to be forced into making a change. So I'm going to make sure it's my choice.
I wish I'd done it sooner. I really wish I'd done it sooner.
Yeah.
Would you look to, knowing that, will you prepare for that?
Pardon?
Knowing that now, would you prepare for that then? Will you think?
I mean, my mum's just commented now, but I've watched my mum forced into that journey a bit, you know. So I am aware of she's saying speak, but actually, you know, you do see that people come in. My mum would have done my hair, but they may not want my mum to do their hair because they want it like me, but they want me to do it because I was 30. But I'm starting to catch up a bit with her now, to be honest. But so I am aware that that's a change, and actually you become even unemployable. So even if I thought, you know, even within my career, there will be a time I will have to step back for the next generation.
At least you know that, though. At least you know that. You're not just wandering like aimlessly, not knowing, just being unhappy and not knowing what you should be doing.
I'm starting to put other things in softly, and I'm still young enough to there at the minute, but I have that awareness because I've watched it. So I can't even ignore it. If that makes, I watch it happening. So yeah. But if not,
the universe does tell you, doesn't it? I mean, I just obviously must have been having messages, and in the end, I got a brick thrown at me by the university, to say that I shouldn't be doing this anymore. I need to change. Do you know what I mean? Because it's like I ignored it, and God, best thing I ever did. Should have done it so much sooner. So all you people out there, don't waste your time.
Pauline White says she took a college course at 60 and passed. Well done.
Well done.
Sophie says, congratulations, a true inspirational, never too old to do what you are passionate about.
Yeah.
Ellen says, go for it.
Isn't it nice to have such supportive people and fans, isn't it?
Do you think as well, if you're interested in things, you're always going to want to widen yourself. So
you'll evolve, definitely.
Yeah, you know, I mean, I would think nothing of keep going to college to keep learning, because I don't want to stand still personally. I want to grow in every way. So actually, I think I'd still be going to college, or I'd hope I'd still be going to college in my 70s.
I could be a professional student. I would have been a student all my life if given a choice.
Yeah, I think we all are. I think we are all students. Some might do it at college, university, but we are all learning all of the time. I think anything different, you might be being a little bit ignorant. Does that make sense, to think you can just go in one job, stay there, and would you want to stay in
some people, that suits some people, doesn't it? Some people like that. Some people like the security of knowing and of the knowledge and being secure in their job. It's not for everyone to keep like changing. But it's just don't be frightened of changing, I think.
I think you have to evolve, because there's always new things coming out. So particularly if you're a hairdresser, the fashion changes, and the younger ones, they're going to learn the new things. So you have to keep on top of the game. As a therapist, there's always something new brought out. No doubt that there is with counselling. There's always something to keep you on your toes, something new that's going to come up. So I think if you're whatever game you're in, you need to keep on top of it. Otherwise, you're going to end up with the clients that want to stay the same, which is fine, but you're limiting yourself. So I think you have to keep on top of the game with everything. So continuously, spiritual work. My God.
Can you imagine if today's eyebrows visited the 70s?
Yeah,
it was just like a sort of, like they used to shave the eyebrows off, didn't they? Just draw a thin line like in the 70s. And today they got two slunks like Angry Bird.
I colour on my eyebrows now, but actually, where I'm an actual redhead, without any colour on my eyebrows, they're like white blonde. So when I photographs, I'm like, why do I look weird? I look really weird. I realise I've got no eyebrows because you didn't fill them in there. I just got eyeshadow sort of going up.
Brilliant.
You would have fitted in the 70s then, mate.
I look good. Yeah.
Right, go see my daughter. She does microblading, so she's the eyebrow queen. Yeah.
I'll put Imac, like the Imac air remover for your legs. I put some on a cotton bud to try and do my eyebrows once, and when I winked it off, it took all my eyebrows off because I plucking was too painful.
I didn't hear that, Gemma. pretend we didn't hear that.
Oh, yeah, I do. And it's sort of the heat obviously made it spread. So when I wiped it off, I just left with patchy eyebrows.
Funny.
Don't do it at home, girls.
Yeah, don't try this at home.
I do fancy having my eyebrows done. I fancy having my eyes lifted a little bit. I definitely want false lashes coming in there. I'd like to. You had your lips done, didn't you? Are they all gone back down to normal now?
They're normal now. Got
Are
away.
they?
Someone can touch me now for a little while. But they're normal now.
Yeah, I
I
would go around like that, thinking that's what it would look like. I don't know.
Would you have it done again, your lips? Would you have the lips done again?
Yeah, I would. But I would have had like a little bit of filler. I only had 0.5. It was really a small amount, but it really made a difference because I've got one side here that drops and it like evened them up. And I think it's still there a little bit, but not.
Oh, hang on.
But now it makes yourself. Oh, next time, shall I have that? Bang!
What have you done?
I was trying to get Amy on the screen, but it's not working. Anita says she struggles to see to do makeup and brows. Any tips? Can't see without glasses. So
a good magnifying mirror, 16 times. That's what you need. One of the it's a bit scary when you first look at it. It's like
Well, when you see it, it is hard. I'm quite lucky. That's the one thing with my eyesight. I think I don't know if it's lucky or not. Really, I don't know if I'd rather not see. But it is hard with the get them tinted. I think get them tinted and waxed professionally. It's not that expensive, and then it's done for you. And I think even in our salon, I think you'd only look at about 20 quid to have it tinted, waxed, and done. Don't think there's a lot of money.
Yeah,
than that. It's about £14 because I used to get it done.
Have it waxed and have it tinted too.
Yeah.
If you don't have to colour them in, I don't think I can't remember our prices to be honest, because the girls do that. But
I used to get my eyelashes tinted, eyebrows waxed and tinted, and it was £24, I think.
I would say
Oh, when I used to do it, I used to charge about £8 for a lash and brow tint at the same
How long ago was that?
Yeah.
Like 25 years ago.
When I was younger.
You was
I'm
expensive then, wasn't it?
really missing having my eyelashes tinted.
Yeah.
I
So
literally
am I.
look in the mirror and I'm like, oh my god, my face isn't there. I just look like, yeah.
I bought a kit to try and do it at home, the eyelash tinting. Gonna give it a
It's
go.
not the same. I mean, I'm a hairdresser. I do it all, but it's not the same, Jim, is it? It's not the same doing it on yourself as other people, is it?
Yeah,
No.
it's really not.
It's not.
It's
not
really
the same.
not. Really not the same.
Well,
And my eyebrows are terrible right now. Like literally, I'm so glad that you can't see them.
Don't look at me. Don't look
I've
at me.
been doing my own. I've been plucking my own eyebrows. But Gemma, as soon as we're in that shop, you know you're doing my nails.
Yeah.
And if I've got nice and strong, I'll be like social distance. But
Wendy. Wendy says I got
she loves your hair, man. When did you go pink, man? When did you do it?
2 hours ago. And it was meant to be a really lovely pale sort of rosy pink. And I looked in the mirror and I was like,
It's really suits you.
But give it a couple of washes. It's nice to have that because give it a couple of
it will fade out really quickly. It did last year.
Otherwise, you'll be booking Suzette for some counselling.
Booking her now, mate.
I've never clipped my eyebrows. I've never done anything with them.
Have you
Really? You're lucky.
You know what? If I had left my eyebrows how I left them in school, I would be following the trend right now because I had blonde hair when I was in school.
Really?
Thickest black eyebrows that you can imagine, and I didn't pluck them till I was probably in middle of Springfield, to be fair. And now I just like them thin. I don't really follow trends or anything like that. But yeah, if I'd left them, I would have set the trend back then because they were really thick, really dark. I had to pluck them because the blonder my hair got, especially in the summer, the more these slugs just stuck out. I'll try and find a picture and I'll post it.
Mine is
John says he can recommend polyfiller.
I think I think that's very creepy.
It's so unattractive. It's not nice.
Yeah.
I'd have a unibrow. One line. Like that, what's that famous artist, Frida, whatever her name was, or whatever it is.
Oh,
That
yeah,
famous artist,
Yeah.
I know.
American one, I don't know. Yeah, she's got the big, thick, like black eyebrows. That would have been me.
It's when I get my eyebrows done and she does that bit there and I'm like, what are you doing that bit there for? There's no hairs there. And then she goes, do you want me to do your upper lip whilst we're here? And I'm like, oh, how dare you? No.
I had that. She said to me, "You want your chin done, love?" And I said, "Why is it bad?" And she went, "Yeah." I went, "No, thank you," and I didn't tip her either.
Yeah.
I'm proud of my beard.
I've been able to. What I have to do is I go in one mirror and I can see this eyebrow, and then go around the house in another mirror where the sun's shining, and then I can see that one. So I go around the house with my tweezers. Just
I can imagine that actually.
Yeah, honestly, but so far I haven't had to do my nose, I haven't had to do my chin or my moustache. I think being blonde again, I
can cut my eyebrows, but it's the shape. After a while, I'll sort of start to lose the nice shape that they get.
Yeah.
So, yeah, John, say that again, Hayes.
I said, we all talk at the same time.
I know, it's terrible. And you can't do it on these. It's really, when we're all sat together, I reckon in the next 2 months, I think we can definitely get one where we'll be together.
Yeah,
and then when someone's talking over someone, we can just push them out the way. It'd be a lot easier there. Wendy says she needs a hair and her eyebrows doing. Or where have I put that? I put the wrong one up there. Wendy, she needs her hair and eye. I don't know if you need hair and eyebrows or you need your hair. We will be doing some live readings later. We'll carry on this chat for a little bit because it's good fun. But we are going to be doing some live readings for you guys as well. So all those that would like a reading, please interact with us because they're the ones that we're going to be picking. If you would like your own card, obviously let us know. We won't jump on you randomly. It's not a Saturday night, but we do need the interaction. So if you would like your own cards, then please interact. React with us. Pauline, I had my eyebrows threaded in the middle of Cascade. Oh my god, never again.
Oh my god. I'd rather give birth.
Really?
Yeah. And that was bad.
That's a bit harsh, man.
No, seriously. Oh my god. I just kept making her stop. I kept going, stop. I was like, it's crying on. Right, go on then. And she did about another 5 seconds and I had to make her stop again. Oh my god, it was awful. Really, really hurt. Really.
When I was training as a therapist, I remember accidentally dropping some wax on my wrist. And the pain was unbelievable. And obviously when you train as a therapist, you have to have everything done to you before you can go and do it. And then they wanted to wax you every part of me, and I was like, no. And they waxed my eyebrow, and just one. I had tears coming down. And then
waxing's all right. No, waxing's good.
No, never again.
Tweezers, but threading kills.
Oh no, never again. I'll just stick to plucking and shaving everything.
But do you know what, right? It's like when I was younger, I used to say, I'm never ever going to have plastic surgery or never ever have anything done. Now that I'm old, I'll have it all. So, you know.
I agree.
Nothing like growing old gracefully.
No, when I was younger, I used to say, oh my God, if I was that bad, I'd do something about it. I was like...
But you know what? I know someone that's had Botox for years and years and years, and they've just started to stop doing it. And I'm not kidding you. Whenever I see a picture of them, it looks like their face is slowly melting, and it's put me. I couldn't do it because it just looks like her gorgeous face. But she didn't have to have Botox.
I'm old now, so like I would only have it done for like the next few years because then I'll be 60.
Every time, Mandy, every time you say you're old, you know that Suzette's the same age as you. Just remember.
Sorry. My mental age then.
Okay, quickly again.
When's your birthday, man?
Sorry?
When's your birthday?
November. 56 I'll be.
Oh, okay. So, all right, you're older than me then.
Yay! So that made me the oldest one here.
What was you going to say about Botox, Hayley?
Yeah.
Right, the girl who come into our salon and done Botox, she said if Botox is done correctly, it's actually a preventative because it relaxes the muscle, so it stops you wrinkling. What actually why she probably had, she may have had fillers and stuff that can sometimes do that, but Botox really shouldn't leave you, it should stop you wrinkling.
Yeah.
It paralyses, doesn't it?
Really tight.
Is that Lan?
No,
Are you talking about Lan?
Lan does the braid, braid. This lady's called Sam. She's a nurse, and she does like the fillers and the Botox. Sam does she does like takes the wrinkles away and does all of that, and the eyebrows. Lovely. They're both lovely. But I was educated, so I really truthfully thought that, like, you know, it pulled you all tight, so it'll all go back to you. And I was like, oh, I'm all right. I'm not that wrinkly at the minute, but I do need a bit of filling here and there. Here and there, but actually I think the wrinkles are managing all right. Got enough fat filling them out at the minute. And she said actually it's a preventative. Wrinkles.
Yeah, and I got told fat makes it worse. Like these marionette lines that you get here are worse when you put weight on, and it's the same thing with like the crow's lines, because obviously your face is flat, so the wrinkles are there and they show up more the more weight that you have. Apparently,
I think this does.
Yeah, this if you go to that thinner, I suppose it's you're
slimmer. And you know,
we just got to walk around like that as well.
I'm not gonna swear, but I'm just gonna think.
When I put my hair in a ponytail, I do it really tight, and that lifts it up a little bit.
I'll tell you what, Kate, one of the most useful things I think that you ever taught me was to take a selfie like that.
Yeah.
But at the moment, even that's not good enough. I'm not up here.
I think, do you know what? I'm not going to mess about my face too much, because that's all right. It's my body. There's no point having a nice face, a really immaculate face. I think if your body, it looks like when you're not happy with it, which I'm not. So I'm going to work on my body. I'm going to speak to someone for some liposuction, and just to get rid of this middle bit, and then I'm going to start on my face. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to work my way around.
You've got such a beautiful face.
Well, I have got the crow's lines, definitely, and I've started to get things here, but I don't want to waste any money here if I'm not happy here.
Yeah.
So this is first, and then I'll start working on the face.
Come to the conclusion that you're always going to be unhappy with something. So while your face is all right, you're going to be focusing on something else. If you were ugly, you would focus on your face and wouldn't be so worried about your body.
Yeah.
If it's your money, and
it's what you're looking at all the time, isn't it? So you're going
but
it's like foil.
If you can afford it and you want to, why not?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Psychologically, it makes you feel better, and you actually think that bit of you is better.
I've been watching through this lockdown. I've been really educating myself with the Housewives of Cheshire. And today, I've found a new Netflix series, and it's bloody marvellous. And it's called Sunrise Selling or Sunset Selling, and it's on Netflix. And it's this estate agent. They're all in America, and it's all these glamorous, gorgeous women. Obviously, they have had all the work done, but the clothes that they wear, and they're selling multi-million £1 properties. So you get to look at all the properties, which I love.
Oh, lovely.
Sometimes their face expressions, particularly in the Housewives of Cheshire, they just don't move. It's too much. And when
you don't know if they're angry or not.
I was crying, and it just sounded like this weird noise coming out of her mouth because nothing else moved. I was like, is she crying or is she laughing or what? But then, like, they're my age, they're in their 40s, 50s. But then you've got the girls in The Only Way is Essex, and they're like in their 20s, and they've got the big lips, and you're like, wow. Do you know, if you started in your 20s, I don't know if that's a preventative when you're that young, or more.
Especially when they're changing their lips, and I think you've got to feel. What you've got to be careful of, it's okay if you're just making yourself feel better physically, but if you're trying to make yourself better inwardly by doing something physically, that's
and so I think some of it looks lovely. Some of it, when they've just done it, looks lovely, but when they go over the top, and then they've got the baboon's ass for lips, when it's just too much.
Yeah, but then that looks nice.
Brat stoles.
Huh?
I blame brat stalls.
Brat doll.
Thing is, though, some of them, that's because they start too early, isn't it? And then they want more and more done. Whereas if you leave it until you have actually got a bit of a problem and then get it done, it's not so bad. I think.
But I
Yeah,
think it's
some of the
also
girls are lovely. Like
This is
Suzette's
like
daughter has it, and Suzette's daughter's got it perfect. She looks stunning with it. But some of them have just like, oh, how can you think that looks nice? How can you look in the mirror and think you look all right when your lips hit the door before you do? I don't get it. I don't get
think
it.
that's the bad thing, though. I think we notice the bad work. The people that just look beautiful, like
Yeah,
having it for years, always look beautiful. We don't think that's a bad lip job or a bad.
Yeah, they've got it right. Yeah.
I think it's the difference. We focus on the bad work.
Yeah.
You notice the bad, don't you? You notice it.
Girls that are beautiful, it's an odd young girls that just had the odd little lip, they feel better for it, and they still look lovely. And then I know the ones that you think, how can you even talk with your lips like that? You know.
And I'm terrible. I copy people's facial expression, so when they come in with the big lips, I'm stood there watching them.
I reckon I'm getting a lot less trouble if I have Botox because my face don't hide a thought. So if I have Botox, it might do me a massive favour.
You'd get away with it.
I'm sure some people would say the same about me, that they wish it would go the other way around, that I'd get my mouth sewed up, maybe.
I'm thinking a few people would let their mouth sewed up.
I think to stop myself eating, I'd like get my like wear a muzzle or something.
Yeah. You know what I've been doing?
I'd make
So my feng shui thing, right? If you spoke about this the other day, if you can see your kitchen from your front door and there's no obstacles in the way, that is bad for your health because you come in and you go straight to the fridge. But if you have something that is going to make you go around, then subconsciously you don't come in and go straight to the fridge. Do you know it works?
Do you know a building that can build a brick wall then?
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know what I can.
I thought,
I don't know what I can do then because there's nothing I can do apart from having the kitchen door shut all the time, I suppose.
Or a brick wall. Come and build me a brick wall, and then
I'll knock them down. That was the trouble. We knocked them all down.
I'm like that. My house is all open planned.
Yeah, so it's not open plan. It just so happens that the way the doors are goes sort of all the way.
Mine's all open plan. So,
hey, with yours,
tomorrow.
You can put your settee. You can have your settee sometimes, don't you? So that you hit that before you go to your kitchen.
Put my table and chairs there. At the
all that. Anything. Man, you could have a plot. I'll have to come round all your houses and feng shui.
Say that. Tomorrow.
You have to go through corners, but I still find the fridge.
Yeah, you might get there eventually, but it slows the process down.
Those split seconds make you think before you eat.
Yeah, it does. At the minute, I've got a clear run. So this, I keep telling myself it's half a stone. I think it's really a stone, but I'm going to keep it half a stone.
I have found the answer to this though, and that is just don't buy the stuff in the first place. Because if it's there, I eat it. If I don't buy it, you know, I mean, I must be honest with you, I know I go rummaging through all the drawers trying to find something to eat, and I'll eat like the dried fruit that I've got to make a cake with or something. Do you know what I mean? Because I want to eat something.
Oh my God, I'd never think about baking a cake. I'd go to the shop. This weekend, I haven't got the kids. They're with Darren. So we've eaten all the sugary stuff, and there's no need now for me to buy biscuits. No need. But it's Thursday. I've got till Sunday. I don't know if I can do it.
Yeah,
I don't know.
You can do it.
Do it.
I'm all right. It's a boredom. I think I'm okay all the time. I'm keeping myself something to do. But I've been baking, which hasn't helped because I do like my own cooking a bit. I can't lie. So it isn't helping, to be honest.
I've kind of gone off the baking. At the beginning bit, I was cooking quite a lot and getting into it, and like doing Colin's lunch every day. And now I'm like, oh, I've got to do that.
when I was studying at college, you must have found this, Suzette. When I was studying, I didn't eat so much because I was getting into the work, and so I wasn't really.
For me, it depended how stressful my assignment was and how far behind. If I was
a biscuit
together, I was fine. But if I was on a real deadline, then that's my trigger. I just started doing Cambridge shakes. So, because I've really health-wise got to shift a few pounds, quite a few pounds. So I like just trying to balance it out doing that. And it's okay, actually. It makes me drink lots more water, which I should do anyway. So by the time we get down to Kate's calf, if I turn sideways, you probably won't even see me.
Well, so I've got to remove a few tables. I'm going to see everyone now, and there's no hiding. And I've got a fabulous new settee, this like gorgeous purple that arrived. It's in my hallway at the minute. We've got to do it, and it's really nice, funky orange chairs. So it's going to be like a real Buddha kind of mysticy. Yeah, it's going to be really cool. Really cool. Yeah. What's Sophie put? Sorry, ladies, but I was actually able to lose 14 pounds during quarantine. Walking an hour and intermittent fast. Well done.
Well done.
I think this is what man.
If you have that action, 4 steps. If you think if I could just get half the stuff, if you just think if I just lost £1 a week through lockdown, I'd sort of be all right. Just think like that. But you want like big results straight away. But that's brilliant.
Yeah,
well done. But I think it's with me.
Brilliant.
I've been eating less on one hand, but it's like at the lounge I might have a yogurt for breakfast and I'll always have a bacon and an onion roll. So the bacon and onion roll's gone out the window, but then I've been replacing it by snacks all day. So my eating habits have definitely changed, but I've just been sat down a lot more.
Exercise. Mine is actual exercise.
Yeah.
And because I need to lose it, I need aggressive exercising. I need real aerobics, not fanning around in my living room, sort of doing a few jumping jacks. I need to kind of go for a walk. I need serious help.
Yeah, well, I burnt my bikes. Did I tell you I burnt my bikes? Did you see my post?
No. I saw that picture. That's great. How did you do that?
Magic.
You burnt your bike, did you say?
Did you remember pictures? There was she had like a massive fire in her garden.
Yeah. This was last week. I honestly, I was sat in the morning. Every morning, I just go out there when it's nice and quiet in the sun and just have a cup of tea and think, what's today's plan? Get all my little head sorted. Have not quite a meditation, but just get everything in order. So I was sat in my little spot. And I saw to either side of me where I want to put a shed, and it was just covered in weeds. There was two bikes that we used, really decent bikes. They were there, but it was also covered in weeds, and there was loads of rubble. I said, God, I really need to clear that, but actually I can't be bothered. I'm going to probably just get someone in to clear it. And then I how you think, and I was like, I just wish I could get rid of it all, and then I could put the bench there, the shed there. Well, we've gone off. And when we've come back, we could sort of smell, this is like 5 hours later, we could smell this burning. And I just thought someone's having a barbecue. So I've gone outside and I looked at the back of the garden, got a bit black. And the more I got closer and closer, I'm like, fuck. And everything burnt to cinders. The bike, the only thing left was the frame. There was no tyres and just some wire hanging out. The seats had all gone. But then I looked and the tree was all gone. And then the tree next to it, the Acer, that was gone.
Wow.
The blue tarpaulin, that just disappeared. But what's going on? So I went into my dad's and I said to him, has there been a fire? And he was like, yeah. He said, I was going to turn you off. I thought you'd set a fire and then gone out. Why would I set a fire? And apparently the neighbour came knocking on the door and said, yeah, there was a fire in the garden. So I have no idea what happened. I think...
Maybe your manifesting went wrong there.
Didn't it? But apart from the bikes that I've got to replace, it's done a bloody good job.
What you would have paid them to clear it? Get yourself a new bike.
It's totally cleared it. Wow. So I can't even go out on the bike at the moment because I've got to get 2 new ones. But yeah, they were decent bikes. But bizarre.
Be careful what you wish for.
I told you, there was a fire up the road, and what hers was the sun reflected on a mirror. And it went down into a dry leaf and it started fire, and all her shed went up and caught all of the fencing and melted the back window and everything.
Yeah. Well, we were really lucky because right by it is a wooden fence from next door, and although it burnt all the Virginia creeper down, the fence was okay. And literally less than maybe half a metre my electrics for the pump and everything for the pond is there. So another 5 minutes, then that would have gone to the electrics and boom. But yeah, what I think it was, I emptied the ashtray right down that end. We've got our compost bin. I emptied the ashtray, and I've got a funny feeling that obviously one of the cigarette butts were still lit.
So smoking is bad for you.
Absolutely, unless you want a clearance.
Yeah.
It was weird. It's just weird. So yeah, so I can't. The moral of that was, yeah, be careful what you wish for, but also I can't get on the bike at the minute. I've got. Well, my bike's all right. It was Colin and Josh's bikes that burnt. I went on theirs because theirs is faster. So my bike's, oh yeah, just and Josh is always right. He's like my little psychic boy. He's always right. And I said to him, put your bike down the bottom. And he's like, oh, I don't want to put it down. I was like, no, it's just out the way if we put it down the bottom. So we'd only done it that night. So if I'd have listened to him, and loads of things have happened like that with Josh, loads. If I'd have listened to him, his bike would have been all right. I would have only had to have bought one more bike. Yeah, never mind. So, shall we do some readings then for people? Are we up? Hayley, what cards have you got?
I've got my Aura Soma ones.
Perfect. Jem, you going to have a little bash with us?
Not today. I'm going to see how you do it, and then I'll do it maybe next time.
All right, well, if you get on to anyone, Jem, if you feel like you get inspired to say anything, then do so.
Yeah.
I can do a pistachio nut. I can bring my cards with me.
So what you're saying, you can read people's nuts. Is that what you're saying?
Maybe at one point I could have.
Okay, so who would like I'm shouting. I'm always shouting, and I shouldn't really shout. Who would like some readings then? So we're gonna go for the guys that have interacted with us, because that's what we asked. You know, aim of the game, have a little share about, bit of exchange of energy. So if you'd like a reading, then you've basically got to interact and either ask us a question if you haven't, or join in with something. Don't be card greedy. Sophie. So if I pick a card, Sophie, and then Hayley will pick a card for you, Sophie, and then if anyone else has got anything to chip in, do we do it like that?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll set the vibe for you, Sophie. You've got to pull the Lovers card for you, Sophie. Now the Lovers card is all about communication. So I don't know if you're in. Where's the camera? I don't know if you're in a relationship or not in a relationship, but if you are, this card would indicate that communication is needed between the two of you. Things need to get out in the open now. There is choices and decisions around you that are quite big, that are quite important. If you're not in a relationship, this is a good indication that one will come around you very soon. But again, it brings choices, it brings temptation, and things that you might need to really, really discuss with yourself, with somebody very close to you, in order to get or to make the right decision there. There is harmony. So if things have been a little bit all over the place, this card, going out the way of the camera, this card does bring harmony around it, and that you can overcome any challenges or overcome any obstacles within a couple, within a relationship there, Sophie. So just let me know if you're in a relationship, Sophie, or not, and that gives me a bit of an indication which road I'm going down that. If you are in a relationship, this would be communication. If you're not, it indicates somebody is coming in close soon to you. Okay. So Hayley, what have you got for Sophie?
I've got the Return of the Emperor. Green over orange, and I'm feeling very much like a victory toward a male figure, maybe an Aries, somebody of an Aries sign, but like a celebration of a relationship. Like there's been some hurdles and some challenges, and family patterns going on and things that they've needed to change, but it feels like there's a victory in this, and it's like a sigh of relief, like they're able to own, and it feels like a kinder, like everything's softened. And there's need of communicating. So I think if there is anything, the victory in it as well, I've got a feeling you've already done it, but there's conversations that were needed. And I think those conversations may have happened. And I feel like she's holding it and they're holding it, but I feel like they're both celebrating, these two people. But it feels like quite a dominant character. And I feel like the lessons may have been between both of them, learning how to be a man without being controlling, maybe. If that makes sense. I think something's happened where you know, there seems real victory there within a relationship. If it's not already happened, it's like happening. That's how I feel.
And what she said is she's just ended a relationship.
Okay.
So both of these cards come in with the message really. It's the right thing to do by the sounds of it, Sophie, but it may be some unfinished business going on with it. So either communication that needs to happen between the two of you still, or where there's a little bit of unfinished business and maybe some temptation and choices within it. But with Hayley's card, by the sounds of it, it's about you taking your power back, not letting somebody control you with your feelings.
Massively. Take control massively. And somewhere in it, there's like a fruition. So I wouldn't be surprised, although there's a relationship ended, I still feel like there's something to grow. There's something growing, even if there's another little somebody or something happening, but there's something definitely positive coming from a massive lesson learned here. Massive something needed to change.
Yeah, so you've got the flirtation and I've got the temptation. So there's definitely something still going on there.
Yeah.
Okay, she says both spot on. Any girls, have you got any other inspirational things for Sophie? No.
But it's my sister, so if I'm sat listening to you both, I can kind of go, okay, yeah, that's right. So
Okay, so let's have a little look. You're welcome, Sophie. There, Pauline White. Yes, you could have a card. You played in. I was going to say you played with us. That's not right. You interacted with us, Pauline. So the game will work. We'll do the same way. Pauline, you've got the King of Cups here. Now, this could be, because it's a court card, it could be two things. It could be a person. If we're talking about a person, there could be a Cancerian in your life at the moment or a strong water sign. This is indicating overcoming a problem. It would, as a situation, it's indicating that something needs to be done in a mature way, in a sensitive way. And it indicates like you're overcoming something emotionally, that there is much more balance. But there's still this sort of sensitive and this gentle way with it there, mature handling. If it is a person coming in, they're going to be kind, caring and sensitive. They're going to be able to help you. They're going to be able to support you. And they're going to be, you're going to be, this is someone kind and caring, somebody that is a good person to have around. So whether it's a person or whether it's a situation, it's indicating harmony, overcoming things, balance there for you, and like that you're getting through things, you're getting through the worst, definitely there emotionally.
Okay, I've got orange over orange. I actually feel this is family related. I feel like there's like trauma going on and you're dealing with a lot in lockdown, like Humpty Dumpty, getting yourself back together again. I want to say to you, you're allowed to be angry, Pauline. It's Pauline, isn't it? Okay.
Yeah.
You're allowed to be angry and own those feelings. Don't deny yourself those feelings. And you're more than capable of getting yourself together. And when you pull yourself together and you've done it for yourself, you will experience true sunshine. Like it's all going to be there for you because you've done it by yourself. But I think the issues are, there's triggers constantly, like that are caused through behaviours, and I think it's you recognising that those behaviours are damaging to your mind and just changing, realising that the story that you've been told is possibly wrong, that actually you've got to reteach yourself a new story and a new way. And if you're hurt and you are angry, honour those feelings. Don't try and bury them. Honour those feelings in a healthy way, but please allow yourself to be angry and learn from those experiences, and you're more than capable of getting yourself together.
Okay, so Pauline, if you could give us a bit of feedback on that, that would be great. Anything else, ladies, for Pauline?
I get, just as you were both talking, can you hear me okay?
Perfect.
Yeah. So I was getting for Pauline the song Reach for the Stars. So for me, what I pick up is the fact that there's been something that you've been wanting to do, but you keep sidetracking all the time. It's almost as if you keep stepping out of the way and putting yourself second. Almost as if you're just not used to putting yourself first and doing anything that's just for you. But there is something that is going around in your head that you think, I just want to do that. I'd love to do that, and it won't go away. And this is just about stepping out of your comfort zone and just acknowledging that, like we said earlier on, that you can do things for yourself. You don't have to feel guilty about it. But I know also here there's somebody that wants to acknowledge and wants to say happy birthday in the family, and this is for August. So I know that there's August happy birthday for that month that's been sent to around you, if not you.
Okay. So far, Pauline said thank you. It's so right. We'll just wait for a bit more feedback. So, anything else, girls? Mandy, Jer, anything else you want to? No. Okay. Ellen, yeah, you can have a card, Ellen, and then Susan, yeah, I'll get on to you. Okay, Ellen. Queen of Pentacles, Ellen. Now, the Queen of Pentacles, you see that right there. I don't know where the camera is on there. Queen of Pentacles, well, you know the card, Ellen, anyway. But this is about a nurturing. This is about, you're in a very good position. You should be able to be a little bit more financially comfortable there. This is working hard to get what you want. And you've already said that you've been doing some studying. So this could lead into something of a business that you want to do, maybe some self-employed work that you want to do, where there is this caring, this nurturing element coming around. Now, you also might be in contact with possibly a Taurus, Virgo or Capricorn, somebody of an earth sign nature there, who again is very practical but caring and can give you some stability, some support there. Excellent card, Ellen, if you are thinking about learning new things that you might bring into your business side of things here. The queens are good because they are like you're the queen of the castle. It's indicating that you've got your power back. You should be feeling quite strong. You should be feeling very practical with your endeavours at the moment there. So your choices and decisions that you're making are good. And for me, your choice of that course would be an excellent choice there. Hayley, what do you get for our Ellen?
First, I felt a bit uncomfortable and I couldn't really understand why, but I think actually...
you sat on something.
I felt a bit unsettled. And I feel like there's a partner, and for Ellen, there's a male. It's to do with a male. I feel there's love in the air, but for a lot of things, I think it's maybe even. I do think there's something going on. There's somebody going on where you're having to sort of check yourself over whether your feelings are correct about this person. I also feel like you're getting that new passion for life, and I've got the purple, so I think you're getting more. You're transforming. You feel like a big change within you, of even how you feel like you're coming across. So I just feel like there's massive changes. I definitely feel like there's a partnership, and as I'm talking to you, I feel like I have quite a pain in my heart. So I feel like I want to say to you, please don't let heartbreak stop or fear of rejection stop your next ideas. I feel like there's some really good ideas, but literally my heart really hurts. So I think actually really honour your pain, but move on and allow people in more, rather than pushing them away. I feel like that's happening. And also your psychic ability, I feel like that's ready to be used more, Ellen.
Perfect. Anyone else got anything for Ellen?
Not for me.
No? Moving on. I know Ellen does have a partner, Hayley. I do know that.
Yes. Oh,
yes,
yeah,
a long-term partner. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Then I think it's moving on to the next level. Then there's some big changes going on within that. So something's moving. If that makes sense, changing.
Good. Okay. Yeah. Ellen says thank you very much. Pauline White says everything what was said is spot on, and yes, there was a birthday in August, Suzette. So we're moving on to Susie now. Susie Dixon. She said she would like to, also enjoying watching you guys. You are funny. Really, you wait till we're all together.
I'm serious. I'm being deadly serious about everything.
It's just your face, man.
This is my educational look.
I'm making all sorts of funny faces because it blows my mind when they get the evidence right. I'm like, how did they do that? I'll never get used to it.
Well, you'll be burnt at the stake, you lot.
Say that again, man.
So a few hundred years ago, you would have been burnt at the stake, you lot.
Definitely. Right, okay. I keep getting cards. Wait, who am I talking to? Susie. You've got the Queen of Cups. Now, the Queen of Cups, there's again two meanings of this. It can be a person or a situation. I don't know what star sign you are, Susie, but this represents usually Scorpio. So you could be a Scorpio or have a Scorpio influence around you. Now, as a person, this is somebody who, again, they're quite sensitive, they're very intuitive, but there may be something around that intuition is hiding at the moment. Like you could open a can of worms, but you're just keeping a lid on it. It tells you to be mature in your handling of emotional matters there. Trust your intuition, but do things in a mature way. Don't throw your toys out the pram. Don't scream and shout because you're going to lose your power doing that way. So by keeping things together is going to serve you much, much more healthier. There could be children. I'm getting children coming in as being important around you as well at the moment. I don't know if there's any baby news at all, but definitely I feel there's a children vibe coming in here. But emotionally, it feels that things are opening up for you. You're becoming a lot more in tune to the spiritual world, a lot more in tune to nature, a lot more in tune to your own physical needs as well there. But just be mindful about what you get into, that you don't open a can of worms that you can't deal with. I don't know if there is some secret, but sometimes this card comes up when there is a secret going on or something you're just trying to hold back at the moment. If this is a person, they could be intuitive, somebody who is sensitive, somebody who is kind, but may have a little bit of a sting in their tail. So just be aware of people coming in around you at the moment and handle them with care, with sensitivity. And like I say, just be mature with things. But I do get children connections around, and I do get this spiritual feeling coming in close around you, that you would be aware of. I feel a grandma around you. You would be aware that they are, you've been sensing them yourself even lately in the last month there. Okay. Hayley.
I feel more than a child. For me, I feel like a teenage boy.
Hold on a minute, I've just got excited. Susie, are you a Scorpio? And that was the card. Jem, you might go do cartwheels now. Sorry, I got excited there.
Hey.
Wow!
Mind blown.
Sorry, I'm feeling very much with this card. I'm feeling around a teenage boy, but he's feeling very different. For me, I'm not saying, but it's almost like a coming out card. It's feel like somebody needs to express their feeling very different to everybody else. It's a different, but strong. He's armored. He's got all the strength, but there's a massive, massive sensitivity that needs to be dealt with, and the situation with this teenage boy needs to be dealt with very sensitively. Like there's confusion. Real beautiful soul, full of pink, full of kindness and heart, but he's struggling. So he might be coming over a bit armored or a bit aloof, but there might be something going on where he's feeling very different. I say the coming out card. I'm not saying it's that, but it feels like he doesn't feel like he belongs somewhere. He needs to feel like he needs to belong somewhere. But I am feeling between the 12 and 14 age. I don't feel it's a young. I feel like it's that teenager years going on for you, or what have you. But there's this massive kindness and this big heart, and he doesn't see all what he has going for him. But there's a great need for sensitivity around this person at the moment, if you can take that. But I can't narrow it anymore. I'm seeing it that specifically, really. Okay.
All right. Wow. Anything else for Susie, girls?
Okay, I've got just the word congratulations, but I feel this spills out further than what you have. I know somebody's just stepped forward and made me aware that there's an engagement ring that's been put on a finger somewhere. So if it's not with you, that's somebody that you know really well. Also here, I want to bring in, and this would be for your mum. So I want to be giving your mum here yellow roses. So there must be connections there for your mum with memory or connections around yellow roses. And also they take me to Christmas, and there's a lady that's remembered, but what you do is there's an ornament that's put on the tree, because I want to put ornaments on trees here, but I'm doing this in memory of somebody. Okay.
So she wasn't. Not sure she heard you. So, Susie, what Suzette said was that there was. Remind me, yellow roses would be significant.
My microphone rubbish.
Well, I can hear you. I'm not sure. Well, I'm not sure why she can't there, but I could hear you. So the yellow roses on Mum's.
So there's an engagement. There's an engagement ring being put on a finger, and if it's not for her, it's certainly around her. So it'll be a friend.
An engagement. Oh, her sound has dropped off. Ah, that must be your end. So no matter what we're saying, she can't hear us then. Yeah, I'm not sure why you can't hear that last bit, Susie. But don't know. It might be your end there. You might have to check your internet.
Maybe we can drop it in a comment to her.
Yeah. We can message you. Message you that. And we have Pauline asking a question. Can I ask a question? I've had a lot.
I'm gonna have to. I'm driving out because my battery's gonna go.
Okay, we'll say goodbye to you, Suzette, and we'll continue with.
Bye, Suzette.
Okay. See you later, girls.
Bye.
I've had a lot of trauma in the last 3 years, and I seem to have opened up spiritually more. Can trauma cause that? So let me repeat that. I've had a lot of trauma in the last 3 years. I seem to have opened up spiritually more. Can trauma? I don't think it could. No, it wouldn't cause trauma at all. Spirit aren't going to cause trauma because they're love. You're not. You've got your guides, your helpers, your family. They're not going to cause trauma. But what you'll probably find is that you're more open to it. You're more awakened and more sensitive to things going on. So you could find that before you were asleep, say, and now you're awake. So you're just more aware of things happening. They wouldn't cause trauma at all.
No, I think that's what she means, is that going through the trauma has caused her to be more opened up to spirit.
Oh, then in that case, yes, definitely. If that's the case, if that's what you're saying, sorry.
I think that's what she's implying.
Yeah. Trauma can. For me, definitely it can. Shame Suzette's gone. Yeah, definitely. And I find that when I very first got into the spiritual things, actually it was the negative stuff I was seeing. I was seeing premonitions of plane crashes, train crashes, horrible things that would happen. And then afterwards, I'd read about it, and I knew that was going to happen. And then one day we moved to Spain, and we were, I think, in the car. And I said, just a couple of days before we left, I said, I'm telling you this, there's going to be a crash, and it's a blue van, and I've just seen it. So when it happens, you know that I'm not making it up, because everything has happened horrible. And I'd say afterwards, I knew that was going to happen. But anyway, there was 3 of us driving red, white, and blue vans to move to Spain. Forgot all about it. A couple of days later, forgot all about it. Moved across, got to Madrid, and the blue van of our friend had an accident, fell on its side, and nearly went off a cliff. And everyone's panicking, and I'm like, "See, I told you." And from then, that's when it changed for me. It was almost like I had to acknowledge it. And I think listening to a lot of other people's stories, they kind of, you'll become aware of the negative. Otherwise, if it was all fluffy, you wouldn't notice it. So they give you this, you become aware, not that they give you, but you become aware of maybe traumatic things, and that awakens you to it. Once you've awakened to it, then you open the floodgates and it's good. So for me, that's how it works. And I know a lot of people. So possibly, I can't say for everyone, but possibly, yeah, I would say trauma can open you up to things.
Don't you think though, as well, when you go through traumatic things in life, that makes you search for more spiritual things? I think you do kind of like look why this is all happening to you, don't you? You know what I mean? And there must be some greater plan, or must be some cause and able to be able to deal with it all. I think
as well, it's about sensitivity. So even for me, a lot of with me, I have to work out. Sometimes being a sensitive person, work out what's my stuff and their stuff, and separating the two. So I think having trauma makes you more sensitive to other people's pain as well. So you're more open up to understand it. If you've never felt it, it's hard to understand. If you haven't felt it, if that makes sense. So I think sometimes trauma gives you an understanding for them to look into.
Yeah, you become empathetic for it, and you just become awake to things. So yeah, definitely. If we've read that right, Pauline, you've had, and hopefully we've answered you there. And if you are into, if you've opened yourself up to the spiritual things there, and you're still having lots of problems going on, I've just literally done a blog on it today. For me, if we're not listening, so when we go through something and we find it's not working, there's always a block in the way, and then that block becomes bigger because we're not listening the first time. So then they make it even more uncomfortable, and then even more uncomfortable. Then all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, I'm so depressed, everything bad is happening to me. And it's really because you're not listening, you're not changing things. And for me, like, they're trying to put things in your way to, I say it's trying to make things so you come off course. And you're not looking at those blocks, you're just facing them rather than changing direction. Once you go, actually, I should have listened to that first little blip, come off course, then you find everything runs smoother. So I always think people that are still going through lots and lots and lots of things, it might be that they need to relook and readdress and maybe be accountable for things and change their way that they are. And then when they come out of that, everything changes, possibly. You can't say anything 100% factual. But for me, that is how it works for me there.
And also, Pauline, funnily enough, I mean, I didn't say at the time, but your card is the trauma card. An Humpty Dumpty card would represent someone that's been through a lot of trauma. And if you were in a consultation, you would deal with that about getting yourself back together. So I would really, really say as well, to help you with your spiritual, don't feel you can't be angry or sad or whatever. That is all part of being spiritual. Those emotions are absolutely cool. It's just how you deal with those emotions that makes you right or wrong. And I think you really need to honour your trauma and your feelings and not undermine it. And really look at yourself.
Yeah, I think you're really right there. That just being spiritual doesn't mean to say you can't get angry or say fuck all. No. And it's the way that you deal with it. I think that's the key to it. It's the way that we're human beings at the end of the day, having a spiritual experience. So it's the way that you deal with it. I think you nailed that there. Susie, who we did lose, she said it was her stuff, her internet or something, but she said we were both unbelievably correct. Thanks.
I
like being right all of the time, really.
Yeah, right. We no living with them now.
But you'll be able to listen to what Suzette said on the replay, Susie, so you can listen back there. Your Janet popped in there. Hello. Your mum, Sarah. Hello. Susie's come back as hi there. So, guys, thanks ever so much for joining. And unless anyone pops up with a question while I'm wrapping this up, Susie, I always get an interference. Lucky you. All right, well, thanks everyone for joining us tonight. We'll again be back in 2 weeks' time. This is our 2-week show. And I don't know if we'll be able to meet up next time. I think that might be a bit premature, but maybe the following time. Yeah. So maybe in a month. I think 2 weeks' time we'll have to do it like this. And then maybe in a month's time we'll see where we're all at and how much social distance needs to be happening as we come into July. Then it will be. So keep an eye on the page, guys. Please, share our page, like it, so we can get more people on. And on Instagram as well, we're on Loose Mystics on Instagram. We also have our own pages. So, Mandy, do you have your own page yet, man? No, Mandy doesn't. Hayley has Total Look. The hairdresser's Total Look.
Lemon jelly. I've got lemon jelly, haven't I? But
she has now. She's got lemon jelly. Face painting. And Gemma's got Ocean Dreams Therapy. And she's got the group and the page as well. So please like those. Join the group. Hayley with Total Look, Chrysalis. Myself with Kate May, Modern Day Mystic there, and obviously the Mystic River Lounge shop as well. So please like and share those pages. And join us again in 2 weeks' time for our next show. We have no idea what it's going to be about. We kind of just go with
ideas.
We just go with whatever sort of is allowed topic. We wing it. We just wing it. But I imagine by then we'll all be back to our new normal. We're starting to be working, so I guess that the topics will be
stressing.
Yeah,
we will not be because you'll be so busy.
Yeah. Well, we might we've had our fillers and that. What were we now? 2 weeks time. Yeah, we'll still have roots in 2 weeks. What, hey?
Get your roots done.
Not in 2 weeks. We've got to wait 4 weeks for that.
4th of July for that.
4th of July. So that's on the next
By
one.
15th, I can't see it, but yeah.
Can you not see it happening on the 4th of July?
No, I can the 4th, but they're trying to push it but I can't see it early. I think 4th
Oh,
of
no,
July
I think,
is right for me.
yeah.
We'd all like to be back sooner, but that feels, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's going to come around quick anyway. I think all of a sudden it was March and now we're coming into June.
I know, it's gone down so quickly.
What colour will my hair be next time?
Shall we have a guess?
Will I have any hair next time?
Have you ever been blue, man?
Yeah.
I was going to say blue. Blue would be cute.
Yeah, I have actually. Yeah. That was my winter colour. I'd like it from black to blonde to blue to red to pink, purple, you name it.
I would like to have pink hair. I would, but
You should do it. You should do it over
It fades out so fast, Kate. It does. It goes really quickly.
Milkshake. You could diet back and it's fine in a few weeks to go back blonde.
Yeah.
Do it. In the comments.
Do it in lockdown. There you.
What do I do? Do I just buy a box dye?
No,
a pink?
no, don't use box dye.
What do I do then?
I'll sort something out. I'll sort something out. I'll sort it out. I've got some milkshake mousse and like a bit of pink. Box dye will be more permanent.
Oh, okay.
Something out that might be so permanent.
Unless you bleach your hair, because if you bleach your hair like me, it only lasts about 2 or 3 weeks and it's gone.
She's got bleach on the ends. That'll go blonde. Yeah.
You can get that stuff that you
Go
put
pink
in, and it makes it go pink, and it only lasts about 3 or 4 shampoos, and then it goes.
That's what you want.
All right then, I'll do it.
Do it.
So I'll be pink for a little bit then.
Do pink.
All right, girls. Ellen says thank you very much. Pauline says everything said was spot on. We've got a few more that have joined us, but we're just going. Paul Knight. Hello, Paul. We are just finishing up now. So 7 o'clock in 2 weeks' time. Susie says do it. I will. I'll do it. If you want to join Suzette and myself next Thursday, though, we have on the Mystic and the Medium page, we have the animal psychic, celebrity psychic, Jackie Weaver, get it right? Mm-hmm. Jackie Weaver with us from 7. So that's next week, animal communication. Anyway, have a fabulous evening. Thanks for joining us. And we'll speak to you.
Bye. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.